Hi, this is Pavel, and this is part 3 of our poker game in C#. So we created our card class and we created our deck of cards, and we will also need to obviously deal the cards. But before we do, I'm going to create a class that will be responsible for drawing the cards on the screen, because when we deal the cards, we will have the graphical representation of each card displayed on the screen. So I'm going to create a class called add new class. I call it draw cards. So, all of them. I'm going to basically draw 10 cards, 5 for the player and 5 for the computer. So now this is still a console application, but the console has several properties and methods that enable us to do some drawing on the screen. Also, there is an encoding that enables us to display hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades that are actually characters for that. So I'll show you, how to get that encoding and put it on the screen. So now draw cards. We will start to draw cards outlines. And this will be, all of these will be static methods, because they will be the same for a computer and for the player. They both will use the same system, so to speak, to draw the cards. So I will do public static void draw card outline. And to draw a card, we need to know where to place it, and so we need basically coordinates. So it will expect the X coordinate and Y coordinate. Where do we start to draw? And I'm going to the foreground of the console by default is black, at least mine is. So I'm gonna actually do a console.foreground color equals console color, and I'll change it to white. So then I can draw like a gray or black outlines of the cards on white background. I don't know, that's how I do it. You could do it obviously, white lines on black background. That would work just as fine. But I'm doing it on white. So our integer x will equal the x coordinates, and I'm gonna multiply it by 12. The reason I'm gonna multiply it by 12 is it's gonna be like the width of the card, like 12 spaces or 12 lines. I'm gonna draw it with these type of characters, and I want 12 of them, so it's gonna multiply it by 12. I'm gonna do y, and it's gonna be just y coordinate. This is the height, but we don't need really, at least not at this point, we don't need any determination of the height yet. So I'm gonna set console dot set cursor position. That's where I'm going to, it's gonna be my corner. I'm gonna start drawing from the top left corner of each card. So I'm gonna assign the position X and Y to it. And now I'm going to console dot right, and I'm going to basically display the actual outline of the card. And this is the top outline, so it's gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the width of the card. Now this says 12, but that's again to kind of offset it. the width is 10, and then the 11th and 12th position will be the line that actually goes down. So but the width will be actually 12. So oh, and after that we need to go to the line, new line. So this is gonna be this is basically our top edge of the card. Okay, so let's draw it. So for integer I equals 0 and I is less than 10, because this is the 10 lines. Now I'm hard coding this just because I don't feel like making variables for each width and height and all that. This is gonna be simply placed on the screen as is. So I'm gonna hard code it into the loop. So our console dot set cursor position. Now we still have X, but Y is now +1. This is the top. We have to offset it by 1 with each iteration. Otherwise, we would just draw. No, we would just draw. How would I put it? We would just draw one line on top of itself 10 times. So we have to offset it with each iteration, and we will also offset it by I. So as I increases, the spacing kind of moves to the right. You'll see when it actually executes and when it draws what's happening there. Now we are going to draw 5 cards in a row, but one at a time. One of these lines represents the width of one card. So we need to determine when to end that and when the next card actually starts. The reason for that is that the body of the card will basically have just these 2 lines. However, when we reach the bottom of the card, what we want these 2 lines, but we also want to display the bottom of the card, so it will look something like this. So we need to determine when we are drawing the body and when we are drawing the bottom of each card. So if I is not equal to 9, so because we are looping 10 times, and 9 is the last iteration. So if it is 9, we will draw the bottom. If it is not, we're drawing the body. So if it's not the bottom, basically that's what it's asking now. We will write line, and what we will write is the line, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then the right edge of the card. So this is the left and right edges of the card. Now else, if it is 9, that means we reach the bottom of the card, so we will do console.write line, and we will draw the edge, but now we will draw also the bottom, like that. So this is the bottom edge of the card. Okay, so that's how we will draw it. Now this draws the outlines. So but we also need to draw the suit and the value of the card inside or within it. So I will now create a public static void draw card suit and value. It's gonna be all in one. And this one, what we need the coordinates just like before, but we also need the actual card. We need to know what to draw, what value and what suit. So we will need the array of cards, and the integer, we will need some coordinates. So I'll just again call it x coordinates and y coordinates. So and this function basically displays suit and value of the card inside its outline. So we need the suit, so it's gonna be a character, because like I told you, we're gonna encode a character to display the suit, like the heart, diamond, spades, and clubs. So we'll initialize it to just an empty space, and the coordinates, just like before, x equals x coordinates times 12, and integer y will equal the y coordinates that we are passing inside this function. Except this one is a character. I'm sorry, this is a card suit. Character card suit. So now, what I'm going to do, let me just comment this out. What I'm going to do, I'm gonna encode each byte array from the, and there's a code page 437. You could Google it. That's basically the encoding for the hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. So this is an official code page 437 encoding. This is what it is. I didn't just name it that way. Into a character, and hearts and diamonds are of course red, so we will need to change the color, and clubs and spades are black. So let me just show you what I mean by that card, by that encoding. This is the page 437 encoding, and you can see that over here, I don't know, well, didn't help. You can see that there's a heart, diamond, spades, and clubs over here. So it starts with some kind of smiley faces, like that's gonna be the first and second, but then third, fourth, 5, and 6 are the actual suits for the card. All right, so that's what we are going to be using or displaying on our page, in our console. So I'm gonna do a switch statement to determine what the suit it is. So it's gonna be card my suit, not my value, my suit. And if the case is the suit of hearts, then we will display the card suit equals, and the formatting or the encoding is there is actually a keyword called encoding, and you can see that it represents a character encoding, and we will get encoding, and I wanna see if you can. You cannot see the IntelliSense, but it says it returns the encoding associated with the specified code page name. All right, and the code page name that we are looking for is 437. That's the code page 437, and we are getting, there's a method of get chars. We are getting the characters from this, and the characters I'm getting is an array of bytes. So we are getting new byte array, and we will only have one element to it. Well, it's gonna be the element of 3. Element of 3 being hearts. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's the third element. That's hard. It's actually 4. I don't know what the first one is. Looks like an empty space, like the 0, 1, 2, and element 3 is hearts. And we are only having one element in this array. We are grabbing it as an array of bytes to encode it, but it is actually just one element, so it's gonna be the element 0. So now our card suit holds the encoding for the heart, and it's an array, but it only has one element. And we will change the color. Since this is heart, the color should be red, so we will change the foreground color of the console, not the console but the text, you know, the character, so it's gonna be console color of red. And of course we will need to break. This is a switch statement, so that's for the hearts, and it's gonna be very similar for the rest of them, so I'm just gonna copy paste. This one will be for suit of let's say diamonds. So if this is diamonds, then our card suit, the diamond is the fourth one, so heart is third element, diamond, as you can see, is fourth, so it's gonna be the same, except this is 4. We are placing number 4 to it. We are initializing with 4. We are initialize the element 0 of our array to 4, which when encoded will return the diamond. And it's still red because it's a diamond. Alright, so the next case will be clubs, and this one is the element 5. Again, it's of the encoding array of the page 437, but we are capturing only one of them, which is in this case the clubs. So the color will be black because this is clubs. Clubs are black, right? So and so are spades, which is gonna be our last one. So we will change this to spades, and this one is the 6. So we are initializing it to 6, which is the spades. And this is how we draw the cards and how we get the value or the symbol with the appropriate color in it. So we can give it a quick test. Let's see what we have here. If we go to our main, we can simply call, remember this is a static method, so we just the name of the class, and let's just do the outline. It asks for the coordinates. I'll just supply 0 and 0 for now, and I will do console.read key just to post the screen if I run it in debug. And alright, let's run it. Oh, we got an error, and it looks like I forgot. Oh, here I forgot a semicolon. So alright, so let's run it again, see what we get. And here is our outline of the card. Now it's not exactly position, it's one space too much to the left. So you know, let me just quickly fix that. So over here I will simply offset it one more space. Let's see what we get now. And that's the outline of our card. Now we will obviously draw 5 cards, but that's after we deal the cards. This is just to test whether the actual outline is okay. Now we can also test the suit itself, but before we do, you know, like over here when we get the draw cards, we have it all set up, but we also obviously need some console.write to actually write what we any of these case. So I'm gonna do it right here. Actually, I'm not sure if this is the best practice, but should I do it in program? Nah, I'll just do it here. After the switch state, when it determines what suit it is, we can simply display the encoded character and value of the card. Yeah, I think it's best here. I mean, I call it draw card suit, so this is what is actually going to draw it. So we will do console dot set cursor position. We will set it to X and Y that we determined over here. I'm multiplying it by 12 because we start from 0. That's right at the corner. I want to move it more to the right. And console dot console dot right, not right line, just right, and let's write the card suit. All right, and then console dot set cursor position, because we don't want the value right on top of the suit. It, like, basically it would just like overlap. So let's move this I don't know, X, I don't know, maybe 4 spaces to the right and 7 spaces down. So that's gonna set the cursor for our value. So now we can do console dot right, and we can do the card and write the my value. Okay, so let's test it in our program. So first thing we need to do, we need to actually create a card. This is again just to test it. It equals new card, and we will also need a deck of card, new deck of cards, and because we need to set up the deck. Actually, we don't really need that. Never mind. I just need the card because I need to set up the suit. So let's say I want to display hearts, and I want the value to be card value, let's say ace. So in other words, I want to display ace of hearts. So now let's call the draw cards that draw card suit and value, and we will pass the card that we have and the coordinates. Again, we can just do 0 and 0. Alright, so when we run it, let's see what we get. We get ace. That's position okay, but obviously the heart is in the 0 0, so we need to offset that. So when I go to my draw cards, over here when it says position X and Y, it was in the corner, so I want it more to the middle, and both to the right and down, horizontally and vertically. So well, that looks alright. It's kind of in the middle, and here is ace, so this would be our ace of hearts. So yeah, it seems the drawing engine, if you can call it that, seems to be working. So in the next video we will deal the cards and actually display the cards on the screen for player and the computer. So stick around, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.